Hi everyone, it's Karen with Inspired by Gram. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up! And located in Sharon, Vermont. I am bringing you a ordering special today. We'll be making one card, and you will have the option of ordering the standalone kit, or I can complete the cards for you and ship them out completely done. But they're super cute using the Ness of Winter Designer Series paper. And it's a very simple card, but it's really a powerful card as well. So it's kind of like a little simple fun fold. We've got some designer series paper on this side, and then I've die cut the birds and a coordinating pattern with the stylish shapes, circles, and also have punched out the Misty Moonlight circle as well, just as a little tiny highlight border. And then we carry the paper on the inside. Here's a nice little place to write your message, and then some designer series paper. So it all really goes together. There's going to be different cardstock colors. You will receive 3 card kits in the mail, either, again, your choice as a kit, or I will send them to you 3 cards free in the mail. They'll come with embellishments, and this one doesn't have any ribbon on it, but you'll get different colors. This is gray granite, but I've got others over here to the side. I've got Night of Navy, Shy Shamrock, Misty Moonlight, and of course gray granite. I've used all my gray granite cardstock, so I'm switching over to a different color pattern. So we're gonna go through this card step by step. I have the written instructions over here. But you can receive these card kits for a $50 order during the month of November. So from November 15th to the 30th, 2025. And this is the Ness of Winter designer paper. It comes in lots of pretty patterns with birds, and also look at all the cardstock options that we have with the Ness of Winter. This is in the annual catalog. It's $12.50. It's on page, actually I can't remember what page it is on, but it was in the mini catalog for September to December 2024. So if you still have that catalog, it's on page 31. But let's get together and we are going to create this card together. Now I'm using a new bundle. This is an absolutely favorite one. I love the punch. It's great because you can punch out 3 different banners in one punch. It's called the Banner Sayings Bundle. It's $38.50. It's really not a bad price. And if you're a demonstrator, you get your demonstrator discount as well, either 20 or 25% off. So I had to grab this one. You can't find it in any catalogs. It's in our online exclusive, so online only. And you can find this bundle at inspiredbygram.com and just hit the shop now button and you can take a look at it there. All right, so right here in front of me, we've got Night of Navy. So I'll use this color. And let's see what we've got in here. So you'll get a medium basic white envelope. You'll receive 3 of these. And then you'll receive coordinating cardstock colors depending on what I have for quantity. It could be any of the ones in that designer series paper here. They all go together, so you shouldn't have to worry about it. But let's go over the card base here. This is Night of Navy. It's 8.5 by 5.5 and scored at 2 and 4 1/4. So we're just gonna fold that middle one, and then we're going to burnish it really well so that we can get that to lie down front or flat for you. Actually, I'm doing it from the wrong side. And now this front flap is going to go to the left. All right, so then we'll just burnish this again really well. You want it to lay as flat as possible because it's so much easier to work with. Now let's bring in my piercing mat here. And I also have my silicone craft sheet off to the side. We're going to do a little stamping, not too much with this one. It's going to be a birthday card, and very, very simple. I've got my basic white, which is 2 1/4 by 5 1/4, and I'm going to stamp Celebrate on this one. And I've chosen the Cherry Cobbler ink because Cherry Cobbler is a nice red It's a deep red. It's not too bright. And it pretty much goes with every single sheet in the Designer Series paper pack. So new stamp set. I love it. And it's one that kind of goes together. You can mix and match some of the words. And now for the banner itself, I'm going to be using gray granite ink. And you can use this color on any of the patterns. Goes nicely together. And now I'm going to take my banner punch, and I've got a scrap of gray granite cardstock. And this is just a random piece from my scrap bin. And I'm just going to take this punch and I'm going to slide it all the way up here, and I'm going to punch. And look at that. You've got 3 different banners. Now I can do this again on this side. Let's see if this side, I've got a score line in here. It was in my scrap bin. So I'm trying to make use of all of the cardstock here, but simple, basic banners, which there's no die cutting, and you can get 3 at once. So if you're mass producing cards, this is a great option for you. And look at that, we've got all these banners already. So you can order the punch as a standalone, or you can order it as a bundle. Of course, the bundle is going to be 10% off. So you can choose what direction you want your banners to go in. So here are the 3 different patterns that the punch does punch out. And I like my banners pointing to the right. So I'm going to take my happy birthday stamp, and then I'm going to take my gray granite ink, and we'll just ink this up real quick. And I'm going to stamp 3 of these because I can mass produce a little bit quicker when I get them all stamped. So this is just tone on tone. So gray granite ink along with gray granite cardstock. So now I've got 3 banners for 3 cards, and those are ready to be adhered down. I do have another one, and I'll just put those over to the side because I'm going to be mass producing a bunch of Christmas cards, and I think I'll be using this punch for some. So also I sell my cards, so of course I'm going to, since I've got my ink out, it doesn't really matter what color I use. I'll use the gray granite. I'm just going to stamp on the back side here the angel policy, so I have that all done. It's much easier to do it now once I have the ink out rather than later. All right, that is all of our stamping for today. And again, we're using a Stampin' Pierce mat because we are using the photopolymer stamps. All right, I've got my silicone craft sheet in front of me, and this just is going to protect my work surface from any adhesive getting on the paper here. But I've got my 3 Stylish Shapes die cuts from the designer paper. And if you notice, let's see, where is that card? I took 2 of the birds, and this one is kind of let me show you a different one. It's easier with a little bird pattern. So here's a great one. So you can see that this bird is pointing to the right and this one's pointing to the left. So I kind of like that. Just gives a little more detail there. So these are our Stylish Shape circles. I previously die cut them from the Nessa Winter. And then I've got 3 random circles. This is Garden Green, Misty Moonlight, and Misty Moonlight. I don't know why I punched Misty Moonlight. Maybe because I was going to use an off color. Yeah, let's do that. It all matches because the Stampin' Up! Color coordination is excellent. So you really don't have to worry about any kind of wrong colors because they all work. So I'm going to use liquid glue today. I haven't used liquid glue in a while. But I'm using it because there's like a 1/16 of an inch border of Misty Moonlight that's showing. Just a tiny bit so you can see a little bit of the color. I want the birds to be that highlight and focal point of the card. All right, so that's one, and then let's go with this one. And this will be number 2. Again, really small border. Really, it's hard to see it, but it is there. I wanted it to be a little bit stronger circle. So when I adhere it, it is going to be the focal point. So I want to make sure that it sticks well over time. So That's why I added this little cardstock. It was easy. I used a 1 3/4 inch circle punch and it made it so super quick. All right, so those are all adhered together. I'll put those off to the side. And then we've got some panels here, and it doesn't really matter how you put them on. So we can open it up like this. They're all random. So this is 1 1/4 by 5 1/4. This is 1 1/2 by 5 1/4. And then I've got 2 panels that are 2 3/8 by 5 1/4. So we'll just kind of start going left to right, and then we'll go to the back side. I'll take my glue here. I like the birch side of this one, plus this scrap here is going the wrong way. This is a directional. I think it's Pussy Willows here. So we want that birch side. And it's just gonna simply get put in the center here. We've got our score line right there, and then we've got a nice little border all the way around. Our next piece here is going to be, let's adhere this one down. And again, this is 1 1/2 by 5 1/4. I like this one too. It matches the birch on the other side as well, and it's got those cute little birds in the trees too. I'm not sure if you can see them or not, but there's a couple here on that cut out. All right, then I've got 2 of the 2 3/4 or 2 3/8 panels. One is going to go on the inside, and then one is going to go on the back side here. So when you see the card, you've got designer series paper here, and it looks a little bit more attractive than if you just kind of leave it as is. All right, so it doesn't matter which pattern goes where. Basically, what do you like? So for me, let's see, we've got these bigger birds, and those could go here if you wanted to do it this way. So that's what you would see for the front. You can flip it around and get the blue side, okay? Or let's check out this one. We have the birds there, but guess what? When you fold over the flap, you're not gonna see them. And then on the other side here, we've got the footprints there of the birds. So for me, I'm going to go with the blue side facing us for the panel that goes on the back. All right, and then I'm gonna flip it to the back side so I can see it a little bit better. I'm just gonna center it between these 2 score lines, and of course the top and the bottom. And then we're gonna take this piece here and we'll add the sweet birds to the inside. Oops. And I've got adhesive on my fingers, of course. I'll just wipe that on my shirt. It'll come out in the wash. All right, and then this one here is going to get adhered with the space in the middle. So I'm just focusing on the height of the designer paper so it's matching up. Oh wait, I just put that on the wrong side. Well, you're gonna, shoot, let me see. Oh, well, we can show it to you this way. Then you can see basically what you've got. Yeah, let's just do it this way, right? I was talking too quickly and not focusing on where that was going to go, but it doesn't really matter because both can go either side. And this will show you a different view. All right, let's get that little glue off there. Okay, so now we are going to fold it, and it looks like that. Now we're going to, next step is to add the little circles. So just determine which one you want on the front or top and which one you want on the bottom. I'm gonna actually move this one to the bottom because the bird is a little bit bigger. And then this is going to go in the middle. So the top and the bottom circles are adhered straight down to the birch paper. And I come up about 1/2 inch from the bottom, and then I'm just going to center it amongst this little flap here. And then we'll do the same thing with the top one. Drop it down about 1/2 inch, and then just make sure that it's centered left and right. Now this one here, we're gonna add Stampin' Dimensionals to the back side of it. I'm gonna take my mini dimensionals. I've just got the edge pieces left. I'm gonna use 3 of them and kind of create a little triangle there. Make sure they're pressed down really well. I'll take my little thumbnail here and remove those little backings. And then this one here, I'm going to add right over top of the top and the bottom circle. Then I'll take my happy birthday banner. I can use any one I want. They're all pretty much the same. I like this one here. So this one says happy birthday. We're gonna turn it over, but we're not gonna put any dimensionals on this side because we don't want it showing on the back side. And I'll show you what I mean in just a second. Let's take 2 small pieces here. If you don't want to use Stampin' Dimensionals on this part, you can just use your liquid glue. And now I'm going to add it to the middle here, and I want it to overhang just a little bit. So when I'm overhanging it, if we flip it over, we don't want any dimensionals past the circle, the green circle there, because then they'll be showing. So just be careful with your dimensionals. And this is on pretty solid. All right, we've got our card done. All we really need to do is embellish the front, and I've chosen the rhinestone basic jewels. They're inexpensive. You can color them with your Stampin' blends, and I like to use like the silver clear ones on like darker earthy colors. So this one works out for me, and I'm going to add 3 of them. They come in 3 different sizes, and as you can see, I have hardly any of the larger ones left, so we're just going to use these up, and mostly all 3 of them are the small ones. All right, so that's your card, and then for the envelope, you can stamp or add some scrap designer paper. I will stamp it, and it will be stamped in cherry cobbler, so I don't have to clean my stamp. And I'm just going to put Celebrate down at the corner there. And there's also a stamp in there that says Cue the Confetti. Celebrate. Cue the Confetti. Let's put it over here. We'll kind of center it down in there. And there you go. So there's your stamped envelope and your card here. Now, don't forget a $50 order from my website, inspiredbygram.com, and that's $50 after sales. And oh wait, I forgot this little piece here. I thought you guys know me. I like to use edge pieces, right? And after I die cut all the circles, I had all these cute little birds that I didn't want to throw away. So I just fussy cut out all these little birds, and it's straight over here. So it's kind of straight, but I'm going to add it down here. Maybe turn it up just a little bit. So this just adds a little bit more on the white panel there. But again, here is the card that's completely done. So that's the front side. This is the back side. And I also have, let's see, I've got some of them. Here's a different one in that pattern. And you can see I used the birch, and here's that little chickadee on that side. And then here's another one. I used the larger birds on the die cuts. And then what else do I have over here? On this envelope, I added a strip of the DSP just because I had a scrap left over. This one here says Cue the Confetti. And then here's another one, Happy Birthday. Stamp that in cherry cobbler instead of gray granite. So you can see how beautiful this card is. And this can also be a Christmas card. If you have a small little stamp set that says Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays, these birds work great as well. So again, you'll receive either 3 fully assembled cards for you ready to send to your friends and family or coworkers, plus 3 envelopes, or you can receive 3 card kits and they'll be in 3 different random colors depending on what I have for stock. So here's this one there, and they'll be ready to stamp and put together with all the pieces. All right, you can't send stamped envelope or stamped images in a kit, but I can send fully assembled cards and envelopes. So my website is at inspiredbygram.com, and I hope you'll shop with me. I'd love to earn your business, and have a great day. I really appreciate bringing you watching, and I'm almost at that 11,000 subscriber number, which I'm hoping to get to by the end of this year, 2025. So if you're not a subscriber, please, I would appreciate your subscription along with a thumbs up, and share this video with your friends and family. Have a great day. I appreciate you.